Hey guys, I hope you're doing well and a very happy good morning to you all. Today we are going to talk about some of the lessons which we have done. The story Encyclopedia Brown, taken from the pages 35 till 43 from the booklet, right? So we're going to start with the fill in the blanks first. Right, so I'm going to read the sentences directly, right? So in order to give you a proper explanation about the words and the sentences. So the first one, Leroy is called Encyclopedia because his brain was filled with more facts than a reference book. So here, Encyclopedia is your blank, number one. All right, I have underlined the word and I made it bold as well in a bold texture so that you can directly you can get it right that this one is what your blank number one. Number two, a salamander looks like a lizard. So the second one is a salamander. Number three, a zoo exhibit has live animals on display that you can see up close. So, a zoo exhibit. So, exhibit is here, your number third. It would be a crime to steal an animal from the zoo. So, number four, we have crime. Number five, snakes, turtles, and lizards are all reptiles. So, number five, we have lizards and reptiles. Two blanks you have here, lizards and reptiles. Number six, frogs, toads, and salamanders are all amphibians. So number six, we have amphibians. Number seven, scientists stumped by this mystery virus. So number seven, we have stumped. All right, guys, you know the meaning, you know the rest, right? If someone doesn't know the meaning, they can see the first page of the lesson of each lesson, right, in your booklet. And if you didn't understand either, so you can contact me. I'll get back to you with a proper explanation with the meanings or something like that. All right, guys, let's move on. We're going to talk about the synonyms. Before explaining synonyms, let me tell you that what is the meaning of the synonym. Synonym means that, guys, the words which are having the same meanings. So synonym, same meanings. Okay, let's see. I have made a table for you guys here. So you can see the four columns right in front of you. Words, synonyms, right? So words and with their same meaning. So let's start. The first word is quick, which means fast. The second word is loud, which means noisy. Mad, angry. Rock, stone. Buddy, friend. Throw, toss. Dirty, messy. Awful, bad. Simple, easy. Tiny, small. Correct, right. Cute, handsome. Difficult, hard. Cold, icy. Gift, present. Jump, leap. So these are some of the words with their synonyms, right? Okay, now move on to the next one, antonyms, guys. Synonym, antonyms, they are opposite of each other. So synonym means that you have the same meanings. Antonym means the opposite meanings. Okay, so antonyms, opposite meanings. I have done the same thing for you guys again here, a table with the words, antonyms, words, antonyms. Let's see. The first one word is big. The antonym will be small. Happy, angry. Good, bad. Soft, hard. Wet, dry. Poor, rich. Clean, messy. Ugly, pretty. Enemy, friend. Quiet, noisy. Slow, fast. Wrong, right. Difficult, easy. Hot, icy. Day, night. Awake, sleep. Okay, so these were some of the antonyms. Before we have done synonyms, now we have done the antonyms. Now, guys, we're going to talk about some of the questions and answers, right? We'll start with the number one. What are the characters in the story? So, Encyclopedia Brown, you have learned, you have read this story, right? You have seen all the concerning the important videos about this whole story. So I hope that you know everything about it. Just to make sure, let's see. Leroy Brown, who's known as Encyclopedia Brown, his dad, Mrs. King, Sam Main, Dr. O'Donnell. So these are the characters in this story. Number 2, what is the genre of the story and what does it mean? Let's see. Realistic fiction, guys. This is a realistic fiction. It is about an event that could really happen. What does it mean? It's about an event that could really happen. What is the author's purpose of writing this story? Why he wrote this story? He wrote this story to entertain and teach us a lesson. The author's purpose means that what is the reason? What is the reason of the writer, the author, that he has written this story? All right. So to entertain and to teach us a lesson. Number 4, what is the important lesson in this story? So what is the important lesson in this story that you have learned? Knowledge leads to truth. Okay? When you have knowledge, so it will lead you towards the truth. What was Encyclopedia's clue that helped him solve the crime? So in this case, in this story, what was the clue, Encyclopedia's clue, that helped him to solve all this crime scene? Let's see. Sam Main was lying because he didn't know that salamanders are not lizards. They are classified as amphibians. So this is what was the clue which helped him to solve all the crime. Okay, guys? Let's move on. We still got more questions. Why did Sam Main lie about his experience with animals? Why he did so? Let's see. Not to suspect him of stealing Fred. Right? Who was Fred? You know it very well. Okay. The next one we have. What was Mrs. King doing while Dr. O'Donnell was examining the crocodile? What was she doing at that time? She was with a group of school children. Then she went to the cafeteria for a coffee break. How are frogs and salamanders alike? Question number 8. How are they alike? How are they the same? Both of them are classified as amphibians. Okay, so both of them are amphibians. Question number 9. What might Sam have done with the salamander if he hadn't been caught? What is going to be the answer of this one? He might have sold it for a lot of money. Right? He might have sold it for a lot of money. Number 10. What did Encyclopedia need before he could solve the crime? So what he needs actually is what he needed to hear that how long Sam Main has been working at the aquarium and since how long he has been taking care of salamanders and lizards. Okay, so this is what he wanted to know, the time period that how long he has been working there and how long he has, how long he has been taking care of salamanders and lizards. All right, guys, so here the question answers have been finished. Now we are going to talk about something interesting which will help you to solve all these question answers and to understand all the stories in a very good way. Characters and plot. So let's see, what is the meaning of a character? Character is a person or an animal that takes part in the story. Guys, sometimes we think that only the persons or the human beings or they all are known as the characters. No, this is wrong. All the people and animals as well, right? Those who participate in the story, they are known as the characters. Got my words? Right. Plot. What is the meaning of plot? Plot is what happens in a story. So what is happening in the story, this is what is called plot. A plot or underlying story structure is found only in fiction. This is found only in what? In fiction. A plot begins when character has a problem or a conflict. So when there is a problem with the character, the plot begins. The problem builds up during the rising action. When the problem increases, right? When it is increasing, what do you say that? It's what? It's the rising action. is met directly at the climax and comes to an end with the action winding down during the resolution. So, when it is about to be finished, it's called resolution. Understanding my words? Resolution means the end, the solution, the finishing, the winding down, right? The end of the problem. All right. So, like this, we have finished our first story, the Encyclopedia Brown. Let's talk about the next one, the moonwalk. You have done it, you know it very well, the characters, the plot, the theme, everything you know. Just I'm gonna give you a kind of outline that what you have learned. Okay, guys? So starting from the page number 52 until page number 56 from your booklet. Here we go. Fill in the blanks. A large shadow loomed across the doorway. So the first one we have is loomed, the same like previous one. Okay? They trudged with difficulty along the moon's surface. Okay? Trudged is the second word. The third one, they staggered as they walked on the rough surface. They staggered as they walked on the rough surface. So stagger is the third word. The meanings, as you can say that they're mentioned in your booklets and you know it very well. If you have any problem, you can see it out of the booklet, or you can contact me and I'll get back to you with the possible meanings. Number 4, he taunted his younger brother. So number 4 is taunted. Let's talk about number 5. They saw craters and a trench, a narrow valley that looked like a rail. So trench and rail, 2 words here, guys, 2 words. What's the runt doing here? Asked Bruno. So here we have the word runt, which is going to fill the blank. Number 7, summoning all my courage, I said, I'll race you, Bruno. So summoning is going to be the word number 7. All right. Again, we are going to talk about the synonyms. You know, again, I'll tell you that synonym means, guys, the same meaning, the same meanings. Let's see. What is the synonym of valley? Rail. Okay, what is the synonym of valley? It's rail. Number 2, what is a synonym for teased? Is what? Taunted. Okay. Number 3, what is a synonym for stumbled? Is staggered. It's what? Staggered. Number 4, what is a synonym for plodded? It's what? Trudged. Trudged. What is the synonym for gathering? Summoning. Okay, guys, this is what you have here with the synonyms. Now, again, like the previous story, we are going to talk about some of the question answers here so that you can understand it in a good way and you can note it down with yourself for the revision. Who are the characters of the story? You have read the story, you know it very well that who are the characters of the story. Let's get down to the task once more. Jerry, Vern, and Father, right? So these are what? 3 characters who are going to be the part of this story. Number 2, what is the genre of the story and what does it mean? So we are going to talk about the genre now, science fiction, because it is based on the science and aircrafts and the spaceship, moon, and all these things. So you know the story. So it is a story based on science. It often tells about life in future. All right. Question number 3. What is the author's purpose of writing this story? Why he wrote this story? What was the reason? So the reason is to inform us what happened prior to the father leaving the shelter. What happened? So dad had told them to stay inside the shelter until he came back. So he advised actually that you have to stay here until I come back. Number 5, why did Jerry try the jumps Vern did? One has done it, right? So why he tried to do that? What was the reason behind it? Not to let his brother Vern think that he was scared. So he wanted to show off, actually. He wanted to show his brother that he's not scared of the jumps which he did, right? Number 6. What happened to Vern when he jumped the wide gully? He stumbled on a rock, on a small rock, and couldn't make it and fell down the rail. So he couldn't make it, he couldn't pass through, he couldn't go across the rail. So what happened? That he fell down. Question number 7. What was the main problem in the story? The plot, if you remember in the previous story, guys, we have said about the plot. So what was the main problem in this story? After Vern fell in the gully, he knocked the battery. So everything in his moon suit had stopped. That's why he couldn't breathe. Number 8. What conclusion can you draw about the air on the moon and about the moon in general? There is no oxygen and gravity on the moon, and the moon spins in its axis every 28 days. This is what we have learned in this story. What event in the story supports the fact that people can do extraordinary things in an emergency? I'll beg your pardon. Once Vern couldn't breathe, Jerry helped him to get back to the shelter. This is what he has done quickly, right? That someone, if he's in an emergency, so what he has done, he quickly got him back to the shelter. In order to what? In order to give him the proper and essential things that he requires. All right, guys. Let's move on. All right, question number 10. When was Vern safe once I'll beg your pardon. Why was Vern safe once he was inside the shelter? Why he got safe? What was the reason? So the reason is here. Because the shelter has oxygen tanks that could help him to breathe well. And he could take off his moon suit easily. You know that there's a lack of oxygen on moon, so they have their shelter properly. They have the oxygen tanks inside, so it was easy for them to take a very long and deep breath, right, easily, one after another. So that's why he got him back to his shelter, in order to make him relax and to help him, right? Question number 11. How did Dad probably feel when he got back? So their dad, in the story you have learned that their father, he advised them not to go out, right, to stay inside the shelter. But when he found that they were outside and he got back to the shelter and he knew all the story about what happened with between Vern and Jerry. So what was his reaction? Let's see. He was sad because his sons went out of the shelter, but at the same time he was glad because Jerry saved his brother from death. So this is what happened. He felt a little sad and he was also happy because both of them, they were having a mutual understanding and they helped each other, especially Jerry. So I hope that this video helped you to get the proper explanation about the lessons, about the main points, about the events, about the genre, all these things, right? The words we have done, the synonym, antonyms. So both the stories are explained in a good way before and once again. I hope that you have learned something. If you have any problem and you have any query, any further you need information, so you can contact me. I'll get back to you by the possible answers. For now, take good care of yourself and Ramadan Kareem to all of you.